Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we will be learning all about the Python list, and at the end of the video I will be showing you how to be a pro in Python using list comprehensions and stand out of the crowd. So don't forget to watch it till the end, as we will be transforming from noob to pro after watching this video. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and comment down the topics you want me to cover in the future. Now before starting today's video, in the last video, again if you haven't watched the previous video, the link is given in the description below, make sure you watch it. So in the previous video of loop control statements, I gave you a question to solve it on your own. So let's check the solutions. So the question says, print the numbers that are divisible by 5. Now just take a moment and think whether we will use a for loop with a continue or a break statement. Pause this video and comment down your answers. So if you have already watched the video, you might know the correct answer, and that is we will be using a loop with continue statement. Let's see how to do this. So I have the list here which have some numbers from 1 to 44. And we will be printing only those numbers that are divisible by 5. So I will write for I in L if I, which is our integer in the list, modulus 5 is equal to 0, which means if the number is divisible by 5, we will print I. Else, as you have to skip the numbers that are not divisible by 5, we will use continue. That's the code, guys, and if I run it, I get all the numbers that are divisible by 5. Now that's how you do it, but that is what a noob does. So at the end of this video, I'll be showing you the power of list comprehension that will make you a pro in Python. But before that, we will get to know everything about a list. So let's start with today's session. So Python provides a built-in data structure called list, which is a collection of items that can be of any data type. Now lists are mutable, meaning you can modify them by adding, removing, or changing the elements. Now let's see how to create a list. Here I have few car brands, and we'll be creating a list of this. So I will write cars is equal to square brackets, lists are always in square brackets. I will copy all these car brands and paste it in the list. And now if I print cars, I can see the list of all the car brands. Now we will be accessing elements from the list. So each element in the list has an index number, and the index number starts from 0. Here Audi has an index number 0, BMW has 1, Lexus has 2, and so on. So let's say we want to fetch BMW from this list. So I will write cars, these square brackets, and the index for BMW is 1, as the index starts from 0. So I will write 1 and run the code. So I get BMW. Now if I want to fetch out Rolls-Royce, I will just count the index number, that is 0, 1, 2, 3. And if I give 3, I can fetch out Rolls-Royce. The next thing is accessing the elements from a list using negative indexing. So here we have the indexing from 0, 1, 2, and so on. We can also access the elements with negative indexing, that starts from -1, -2, and so on. So let's say I want to print Nissan. I will write cars square brackets -1, and if I run it, I get the last element in the list, that is Nissan. What if I need the second last element? I will write -2 and I get 4. Now let's say I want to print the elements from starting to the third car. So I will write cars and I will give a range of index which starts from 0. I will use a colon and give the end index in this range. So here I need to print Audi, BMW, Lexus, and Rolls-Royce. So the end index would be 0, 1, 2, 3. Now if I give here 3, it will not include Rolls-Royce. Let's run it. So the end index should always be +1. So instead of 3 we will write 4, and now we will be getting Audi, BMW, Lexus, and Rolls-Royce. As in the definition, we have seen that lists are mutable, which means they can be modified. So let's say I want to change Ford with Honda. So I will write cars, and what is the index of Ford? It is -2. I will write cars -2 is equal to Honda. If I run it and print cars, you can see Ford has been replaced with Honda. Let's check the length of the list. So to know how many items are there in the list, we use the function length and just pass your list name, and it will show that we have 8 cars in total. Now we will perform some list operations like adding or removing items from the list. So the first function we have in list is append. Now I have replaced Ford with Honda. Let's say I want to add Ford again. So I will write cars but append. Here I will be giving Ford. Let's run it and print cars. Ford has been added in the end of the list. So append will add the item at the end of the list. Now let's say I want to add multiple items in the list. So for that I will use extend. I will write cars dot extend, and here I will be passing another list of the values that are to be added. So let's take Range Rover and Jeep. So if I run it and print cars, you can see Range Rover and Jeep has been added at the end of the list. Now let's say I want to fetch out the index of a particular item. Let's fetch out the index of Ferrari. So I will write cars dot index, and here I will be passing Ferrari, and if I run it I get the index as 5. Let's count it: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. That's how you fetch the index number of any item in the list. The next thing is insert. Let's say I want to insert Chevrolet between Rolls-Royce and Lamborghini. So I will be needing the index number of Lamborghini. To do that, I will fetch the index number of Lamborghini, that is 4, and I will write cars.insert. Here I will be giving the first parameter as the index. So on fourth index, I want to add Chevrolet. So if I run it and print cars, I get Chevrolet between Rolls-Royce and Lamborghini. The next thing is sorting the list in an ascending order. So I will write cars.sort, and if I don't pass any parameter, it will by default take ascending order. If I print the cars, it has been sorted in ascending order. Now let's say we want to sort it in a descending order. We'll use the same function cars.sort, and inside this we'll be giving a parameter known as reverse, and we will set it to true. And if I again print the cars, I get it in a descending order. Now let's say I want to reverse a list. So I will use cars.reverse, and if I print the cars, Rolls-Royce is now at the end of the list. Now let's say I want to count the frequency of elements in the list. So let's say I want to know how many times BMW is there in the list. So I will write cars.count, and here I will pass BMW, and if I run it, I get 1, which means BMW has occurred only once in the list. Now if I have to delete the last element from the list, I will use cars.pop, and if I run it, it will pop out Rolls-Royce as it was the last element in the list, and now if I print cars, there is no Rolls-Royce. Now what if I want to remove a particular element? I will use cars.remove function, and in this I will specify, let's say Ford. I don't want Ford in my list, so I will just run it, and now if I print cars, Ford has been deleted. Now comes the time, guys, where you will be transforming from a noob to a pro and feel more powerful while writing codes using lists in Python using list comprehensions. So what is a list comprehension? A list comprehension provides a concise way to create new lists based on existing lists. They can be used to iterate over an existing list, apply transformations, and filter the elements. Let's get it cleared by using some examples. So the example says print the squares of the numbers in the given list. Here I have a list and I have to print the numbers. So let's first see how a noob will write the code in this particular situation. So a noob would write for I in L, it will take a variable and store the square of I in it, and again create a variable named square, which would be a list, and now it will append each and every square to the list. So it will write square dot append x, and now at the end I'll print square. So it will give me the squares of each and every element from the list. But this approach is used by a noob. Now we'll be doing it in a pro style using list comprehensions. I'll create a variable named square and we will pass a list, and this is what list comprehension will do. We will write I raised to 2 for I in L, and if I print square I would get the same output. So now I have achieved the same result using one line of code instead of writing multiple lines of code to get the same results. This is the power of using the list comprehension, which is unknown to a lot of learners, and now that you know it, you can stand out of the crowd. So like always, now I have a question for you guys. You have to fetch out even numbers from the given list using list comprehension. And if you could do this particular question, you can call yourself a pro while handling lists in Python. Now that's all for today, guys. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe if you haven't really done it yet. Let's grow together, keep learning, and thanks for watching.